are fine. Everybody is fine here at our house. Welcome everybody. My name is Mahira Khan. Um, you guys, I'm at 40 now, 40 subscribers. So thank you to each and everybody out there for your support. Um, you are the building blocks of this channel. You are the VIPs. So thank you so much. Yeah, and let's get busy here. So today is a Tuesday, and I was on Facebook, and I just came across this post there that we are living in a small town here in Namibia, in the state of Namibia, and somebody posted on FB, that is based here. They said that because we are under lockdown currently, with this COVID-19 thing. So they said that they are actually they want their domestic workers to come back to work and to be because they feel that they're essential. So I don't know. Yeah, my question to you guys, comment please what your take is on it, because in my opinion, my domestic worker, I miss her. The house is upside down, but yeah, I'm keeping a tight lid on things here. If she comes back, I don't want the place to be, in a state of emergency. Anyway, my take on it is, maybe, say for example, I'll understand if you are in the essential services yourself as the employers, both maybe husband and wife, and like maybe doctors or police people, and they don't have a support system, then it's maybe advisable, I don't know if they have the certificate, because that is a regulation of the government, so to maybe get their domestic workers to come and work, or nannies or whatever to come and, especially the nannies. Yeah, I'll understand them because they are taking care of children when the parents can't. But for domestic work, I mean, for the normal house or chores, to come and clean and stuff, I don't think that is essential at all. Everybody can make do. Yeah. So having said that, I have something that I was planning on doing this entire time. From time to time, I'm especially around, according to the seasons and things, winter, summer, then we're having spring cleanings and things like that. I mean, kind of to keep up with the YouTubers and everybody out there. So cleaning is next to godliness. So I believe a clean place, it's an organized place. It just gives you a piece of, your mind is clear, if your environment is clean and tidy. I believe like that. So normally from time to time I would go around the house and clean maybe the carpets, or have a schedule what I'm working on, etc., etc. Not me, my help. But in her absence, I have to keep tight on these things and do it, So I have something to share with you guys. It's about how to clean your gas stove grates, the black top part where the pot is coming on. So basically what they are doing, or they are telling us to do, is to put it in a product that has an ammonia base in it, like a handy here in Namibia. I don't know other side what you guys are using. So I soaked mine up, and overnight, in the morning it did nothing. I had to go in there with a scrubber in the metal scorching pad. and really it did nothing. So what I did was to go back, to the old school way. So I came up with, when we were growing up around Easter, December, Christmas time, our folks would clean out their homes, and then spring cleaning, and then the pots would be cleaned as well, or would be burned up, the grime on it. Yeah. So what we did was to collect the cow dung, the dried out one, and then we would burn our pots, the three-legged pots that you use on the fire, because yeah, in our country, in our culture, it's the it's the thing to do, fire every day. We grew up with a fire and around fire, and we cooked our meals on fire. If you have to boil water for tea, it was quickly done on the fire. So I don't know. Yeah, we had stoves and things, and we still do up to today. My mom's belief is a fire is the like the essential thing in the house. It's something that you do in the morning. It's giving life, it's prosperity, and she believes in that. So yeah, that is that. So let's get into the video. I made the the cleaning video on Monday. So yeah, that was yesterday. And then I also cooked a small quick lunch prepared a small lunch for my husband, and I'll be sharing that in the video as well, how I did the roti and stuff, because people have been asking me, how do you manage, can you make a roti, because I'm not Pakistani, and but we've been married for quite a while, so I don't know why people are still asking me this question, especially my in-laws. If I meet the new ones, they're always asking me, can't you make the bread? That is the first question. And because it's like a staple for my husband, the Pakistani culture, cuisine is 3 times in a day. Morning they have prata, lunch they have and then dinner also. Sometimes my husband will prefer to have his bread, but mostly times we are alternating with our staples like the rice and sometimes the pasta. Yeah. And my kids don't eat pop, but I like a little bit of pop here and there, so I always buy myself a bag of pop and keep it in the house. So I'll just take you through the steps, or not necessarily the steps, because my daughter already made the dough. So I'm just taking you through how I roll it out and how I'm making it on the tawa, which is the pan thing that we are using. So we prefer to use a gas stove here in the house that you can put on top of anything, on any surface. I have an electrical stove as well, but because of the intensity of the heat that it gives, because we are using, our cooking is or cuisine is curry based, so we are using the aluminium pots and pans and stuff. So I find it that it's heavy bottom, and then you have to use some kind of good heat. My electrical stove is working good, but I find that it takes longer, to do this. So we are using the gas stove for those purposes when you're cooking. And although I'm using the pressure cooker almost every day, Yeah, we are not big meat eaters, but we do eat chicken here and there, and we are mostly plant-based, Yeah, we eat meat, but only if my husband slaughters it himself. So yeah, that is very rare. Maybe 3-4 times in a year he does that. Yeah, so we cut up the animal and process the meat and freeze it, and we eat like that. And it lasts us a long time, because it's only the 3 of us, myself, my husband, and our boy, which is 13 years old. My daughters are living elsewhere, but now all this COVID thing, they are here. The one is studying in Banduk and the one is on our own here. But anyway, let's get into the video and you guys can see for yourself what we are doing. Okay, and thank you so much for watching. Again, please share the video, like, comment and subscribe. The new people that are watching, please do subscribe. Don't leave without ringing the bell icon for future notifications, etc. So thank you and have a great Tuesday afternoon wherever you are. So from us here, bye bye. So you guys, as you can see here, I'm just burning off the grime from the grates here. This is alloy base. My stove is stainless steel, but the grates are alloy base, so it will not burn melt like once my one of my pans, the Bauer pan that I bought once, it melted when I was doing this thing a long time ago. But yeah, this is just what you do. You just chart it off on the open flame. Just use your stove right away. Just be careful of the gas pipe and everything else, if it's open and lying like mine is. And then after that, the flakes will just come off easily. Here I'm just putting it in the sink and then putting a little bit of dishwash soap on it and then just washing it off. It's coming off quite easy. It does not take a lot of elbow grease and things like that. If you find something that is stuck on, just get in there off the back of the spoon like I'm doing here, and then just scrape it off, and then yeah, it's nothing to it. It's do whatever you have to do to keep it get it clean, because it's so unsightly when it's like stuck on food and like not looking good at all. So yeah, that is it, you guys. That is how I'm cleaning my gas stove grates for you, and voila, as good as new. So here I'm just busy to get the lunch ready for my husband. Every time you have to, he prefers fresh bread every time, so I have to do this thing 3 times a day if he wants. So here I'm just my daughter made the dough already, and I was just letting it rise up in volume, waiting for the gluten to not take effect and etc. So here I'm just rolling it into 3 equal parts. He will be having 2 breads and I'll just have 1. As you can see there, I'm just dipping it into a little bit of flour and just to coat it, to make the rolling a bit easier. And then I'm just dipping it into the flour, as you can see there. And I'm using my cake stand here. People, you can use your tabletop, whatever surface you have, and just put a damp cloth on it so it won't dry out while you're busy to roll out the others, or busy with the one that you are doing. Here I'm just closing it up like this, and after a while I'll 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes, I'll just come back and sprinkle like this. Here I just did it straight away. And then I'll just roll it out. You start from the inner part like so, flatten it with your hand, get it with your fingers, everything, and then on the edges also, because you want the edges to be thin, as thin as you can get it. I'm just going in with the rolling pin here and alternating the sides in the opposite directions as I'm rolling. You can see if I'm flipping the bread, then I'm just rolling it in the other side, other way. This is to ensure that you get a round flat bread. You don't want a square, end up of a square bread. Yeah, I was ending up of many shapes when I was studying these things. And here I'm just shaking off the excess flour on the bread, because you don't want excess flour. It will stick onto the pan and you don't want that. I'm just oiling my pan. Sometimes my husband wants oily bread, sometimes it's just dry straight bread, but here I'm oiling because as you know, I just washed the pan, so I'm just oiling it. My husband is saying that oil is the most like the important ingredient, the main ingredient in our food. Oil is nice, you people. I'm just encouraging him to use nowadays the plant-based oils, such as the olive oils and things like that, extra virgin or cold press or whatever, because we are getting, the rollikis are coming, the rolls are coming. So once that, here you just take 30 seconds on each side to flip the bread. 30 seconds here at this side, 30 at the side, 30 to 40. I'm using the gas stove, to get that heat, that intense heat that I want. And it will take less than 2 minutes to get your bread. And then I roll it into a bamboo placemat that I just bought from my surprise, just to keep the bread warm, because you want to have it warm. Here is our lunch. My husband made the curry. The curry was so nice, you guys. It was delicious. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.